You're a real smart guy, huh?
Yeah.
You know what the law is, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you don't.
I come out here and some weirdo sticking a camera in my face. I'd be a little concerned.
Is that why you guys have cameras too?
What starts as a quiet First Amendment audit quickly turns into something much bigger. An auditor is standing on a public sidewalk, recording a bank from outside, not inside the building, not obstructing anyone, not engaging with customers, simply documenting what's plainly visible from a place every citizen has a legal right to be. Within minutes, bank employees call the police. And that's where the real problem begins. Officers arrive and immediately repeat claims that aren't supported by law. Suggesting permission is required to film, asserting an expectation of privacy where none exists, and attempting to control activity on public property based solely on discomfort. What follows is a clear example of how misinformation, assumption, and authority without legal grounding collide with a citizen who knows his rights and refuses to surrender them.
How are you?
I didn't call you.
No, I know that. They called us.
Okay.
They're concerned because you're videotaping people inside the bank.
Okay.
Is there a reason you're doing that?
Do I have to have a reason?
Say that again?
Do I have to have a reason?
Nope.
All right. Name and badge number?
Officer Birch, 508.
He's scaring our customers.
Oh yeah, what he's doing is a little strange. No doubt
Yes,
about it.
in a bank.
Yeah. I mean,
He's scaring our customers. She was afraid to come out.
I haven't said a
Thank
word.
you.
I
Thank
gotcha.
you.
I got permission.
From who?
Yeah.
What is it? Oh, well, there you go. You have that back. Yeah, so they were just concerned. Obviously, they have a place of business here that they're trying to run, and when customers are concerned, they're going to call them.
All right.
So that's why
That was quick.
What's that?
You guys came here in record time.
You keeping record?
It was oh shit! Look at that.
What's up? Yeah, we're all good.
So is my permission good enough?
Well, I mean, we got to talk with the bank. I would imagine that
Yeah.
this is probably still bank
Can you
property.
ask them why they're recording me? They're scaring me right there. See that?
Hey, what? Their cameras?
Yeah, look.
Yeah, every bank has cameras.
So
Every bank in America has cameras.
I didn't call the cops on them.
No, but you elected to come here.
Yeah, but this is public.
Right, but you came here, right, knowing that there's surveillance cameras. So,
Well, she came here knowing that I'm videotaping too.
well, it wasn't her that was concerned. The lady was already in the bank. Then you showed up.
No. She came out first. I didn't say a word to anybody.
You didn't have to say a word to anybody to make them feel uneasy, right?
Okay.
So they're concerned because you're videotaping people who do not want to be videotaped.
Yeah, but I got permission. You
That's
saw
not
it.
real permission. You need permission for the people you're videotaping to videotape.
Oh yeah, what's that law?
You can videotape them out here. You cannot videotape them in there. They have an
Oh, like-
expectation of privacy.
Like
in
this?
there.
I can't
That's
do
correct.
that.
That's correct. So if people don't want to be videotaped inside a private entity, they have the right to refuse it.
So I can't videotape through the window?
You can't videotape into a private business, no. The same I
Really?
could videotape into your home. That's
Okay.
the same. They have an expectation of privacy in there.
I think you need to read the law, sir.
Telling you why we're here. That's why they call.
Okay, so I can't point over here.
You should not be videotaping people
Okay,
inside.
what are you gonna do about it if I do?
If it's catching footage inside, you can't be doing it.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's
correct.
catching footage, definitely.
All right, then maybe you should stand a little further back.
I'll be on the street.
Maybe
Come
back
get up
that
in the
way.
car.
No, you can't tell me where I stand.
Okay. Well, here's the
Like
thing,
you,
dude.
like, go ahead.
Like, okay, I get it's a public sidewalk. You have a right to be out here.
Okay,
All
they're
right,
recording me
but-
right there.
Okay, you don't got to be here.
Seem to be here.
You don't got to be here.
Okay, I
You
could
are
videotape
elected
right
to
into.
be in this
Look at this. I'm gonna zoom right in.
So here's the thing. I
Zooming
get
in.
what you're doing. All right, you're one of these like, First Amendment guys. That's cool and all. But here's the thing. You can't expect to not upset people. If I was in there as a customer, doing my financial business,
Okay.
I come out here and some weirdo sticking a camera in my face, I'd be a little concerned.
Is that why you guys have cameras too? So
We
you can
have
upset
these.
people?
Well, we have these for
Okay, well,
documentation
it's upsetting me.
purposes. Well,
They're
well,
upsetting
like I
me
said,
too.
You don't got to be here. You don't got to be here.
But I want to be right here.
Okay, like I said, you're elected.
I'm not
to
moving
be...
anywhere, just so you know.
Okay, that's fine.
And I'm gonna be
That's fine.
videotaping into the bank. I'm not walking in.
Okay, well here's the
But
thing.
check this out.
Check it out. I'll check it out. And here's the thing, since you want to be so cool and cooperative,
Mhm.
if I do find out that you violated anything else, I'm going to show you the inside of a prison cell.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your name, badge number?
Azar, 487.
All right.
Okay? Just so we're clear. If I find out you're
What do you
violating
mean
any
if
laws,
you find out?
well, you want me to look up the law, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's what I'm gonna go
Yeah.
do. Okay? All right? Have fun.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what we got for you.
Did you find out what the law is from the bankers?
Well, here's what we got for you. You're not allowed to go into the business, okay? If you go into the business, you'll be arrested for trespassing.
I already knew that before I came here.
There you go. Now you know.
Do you know what the law is? I could go like this. So did you find out what the fucking law is?
You're a real smart guy, huh?
Yeah.
You know what the law is, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you don't.
You can try
And you're a fucking
clickbait as
police
much as you
officer.
want. You can try and clickbait as much as you want. Okay? If you step into the bank, you'll be arrested.
All right.
Okay?
I
Have a
already
good day.
knew that. I already, don't tell me fucking
Have a
directives,
good
okay?
day. You have a good
All
day.
right. You know
sir.
you
Have
don't
a
know what the
wonderful
law
day.
is, and you
Have a
tell me,
good
oh,
day.
if I find out, I'm gonna fucking put you in jail.
Go pound sand, buddy.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
a good day.
That's
All
true.
right, dude. Like and subscribe,
Have a
right?
good day.
Like and
Have a good
subscribe.
Hopefully Jesus gives you bond money when you mess up.
Yep. Don't worry, I won't. So he told me I can't record into Windows because he didn't know what the law is.
I told you you couldn't zoom into windows when people have an expectation of privacy, is what I told you.
Well, I just did zoom into Windows and I could all day.
Okay.
He's doing what he can to try and bait people in so we can. his YouTube
They got a
channel can
camera
go up
too,
from 5
pointing at
people
me.
to 10 people.
You guys have cameras, right?
Dude, I mean, listen, man, you can record 24 hours a day. You might go up from 5 subscribers to 10.
All right. I'll show all my 11 subscribers.
Good buddy.
All right. Name and badge number?
Dixon 783.
All right. I like the stripes.
Thank you.
Thanks. You're the cool one.
2121. Maybe you're plugging in at Cambridge for Plan C, but it doesn't look like.
By the end of the encounter, the situation resolves itself without handcuffs, citations, or consequences for the person exercising his rights. The auditor remains exactly where he started, on public property, doing something entirely lawful, while the officers are left with nothing to enforce and no law to stand on. What makes this moment so telling isn't raised voices or dramatic confrontation, but the quiet realization that the officers never actually had legal footing to begin with. Once it becomes clear that filming from a public sidewalk isn't a crime, that visibility through windows doesn't create privacy, and that discomfort doesn't override the Constitution, the encounter can only end one way, and it does. The officers retreat, cameras still rolling, completing the familiar walk of shame, not because they were defeated in an argument, but because the law simply wasn't on their side.
Some cops don't care what the law says until they realize the person they're threatening actually knows it better than they do. This whole thing started outside a bank. Busy afternoon, customers walking in and out, and standing quietly on a public sidewalk. A man with a camera, not blocking entrances, not speaking to customers, just recording what was visible from public property. Completely legal, but within minutes, bank employees called the police. And that's when the real problem started. An officer walks up casually at first. They're concerned because you're videotaping people inside the bank. The cameraman stays calm. Do I have to have a reason? Simple question. The officer pauses. Nope. And honestly, that should have ended the entire interaction right there, because recording from a public sidewalk is protected activity. But instead of leaving, the officer started inventing laws that didn't exist. One officer claims people inside the bank had an expectation of privacy. Another says he can't film through windows. And the auditor immediately catches it. What law says that? Boom. That one question completely shifted the interaction, because suddenly, the officers had to do something they clearly weren't prepared for. Actually explain the law. And they couldn't. The officers keep trying anyway. You need permission to videotape people inside. The cameraman points directly at the bank surveillance cameras. They're recording me too. Absolute pressure. Because the hypocrisy was impossible to ignore. Every bank in America records customers constantly, but somehow a citizen with a camera suddenly becomes suspicious. One officer tries emotional reasoning. If I came out and saw some weirdo sticking a camera in my face, I'd be concerned. The cameraman fires back instantly. Is that why you guys wear cameras too? Brutal, because now the officer isn't arguing law anymore. He's arguing feelings. And feelings don't override constitutional rights. The officer starts getting irritated. You don't gotta be here. The cameraman shrugs calmly. But I want to be here. That line hit hard. Because public sidewalks don't suddenly become illegal just because somebody feels uncomfortable. Then the interaction completely shifts. One officer starts threatening arrest. If I find out you violated any laws, I'm going to show you the inside of a prison. Boom. Straight intimidation. Problem was, he still couldn't explain what law was being violated. Not trespassing, not harassment, nothing. Just filming from public property. The auditor immediately calls him out. You don't know what the law is. And honestly, that was obvious by this point, because the officers kept changing their argument every few minutes. First it was privacy, then permission, then discomfort. None of it held up legally. The officer storms off to look up the law. And honestly, that might have been the smartest thing. He did the entire encounter. A few minutes later, the officers come back. Completely different energy. Less confident now. Less aggressive. And suddenly the only thing they can legally enforce is trespassing inside the bank. You can't go into the business. The cameraman nods immediately. I already knew that. Game over. Because that was never the issue. Nobody claimed he could walk into private property. He was standing on a public sidewalk the entire time. Exactly where he had the legal right to be. The officer keeps trying to save face anyway. You're a real smart guy, huh? The cameraman smiles. Yeah, but you don't. Absolute destruction. Because now everybody understands what happened. The officer threatened prison over activity that turned out to be completely lawful. And the worst part? The cameraman knew the law from the beginning. The officer didn't. That's what made the interaction so embarrassing. Not yelling, not drama. Ignorance. One of the other officers finally steps in calmly. Different tone completely. Professional. You can record 24 hours a day if you want. And just like that, everything collapsed. No cuffs. No citation. No arrest. After all the threats. Nothing. The officers slowly back away while the cameraman stays exactly where he started. Still recording. Still standing on public property. And honestly, that final silence said everything. Because everybody there understood the truth. The officers never had legal footing to begin with. They had assumptions, feelings, discomfort. But none of that overrides the Constitution. That's why encounters like this matter. Not because police got embarrassed, but because people need to understand something important. Rights don't disappear because somebody feels uneasy around a camera. And once somebody calmly starts asking officers to explain the actual law, bad policing falls apart very quickly, especially when the person with the camera knows more than the people wearing the badge.